Hey Womber, how you doing? We're just going to wait for a couple people to show up, and we're going to have our drawing here for the first round of the virtual tournament. All right, Backyard Billiards, Chuck, you're number one, my man. I'll explain this in a minute. I'm going to wait a few minutes. I'm going to have the drawing so everyone will know exactly who they're playing in the first round. And then I'm going to have an overview of the rules, which I'll get into more with the players, but I just want to give everyone a quick overview so when you're practicing, you'll know exactly how to practice. Gambling Granny, how you doing? We're just going to, I'm having a 9-ball virtual 9-ball tournament. I'm going to have the drawing here live so the players know exactly who they're playing. Should be here in the next few minutes. Just give a few more people a chance to come in. We'll just wait here a few more minutes and then we'll get this going so the players do know exactly when they are scheduled to play. And what I'll do is I will contact each of the players in game one. We'll get that game scheduled and then we'll have an idea of when to schedule game 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the finals. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. The way I did this is I'm going to show you, for instance, number 1 is Backyard Billiards, Chuck. This is the order that they entered the tournament. Okay, Chuck was number 1, and he will be represented by the 1 ball. I'll explain that in a little bit. Roopster is number 2. Chris, who was playing Chuck from Backyard Billiards the other night, he's number 3. Dante from Talking Runs and Making Runs will be represented by the 4 ball. He was the 4th entry. Ron Johnson, number 5. And then we had an alternate make it in because we did have a cancellation. So Darren, Mr. Edit, is number 6. Gizmo, number 7, that's Roopster's friend. And last but not least, the last entry was Professor 19 Billiards, who will be represented by the 8 ball. What I will do is I will put each of these balls in a bag. I will mix them up. The first one that I draw will go into the first slot. The next one I draw will be his opponent in game number 1, and we will go down the list. Okay? So I'm going to draw these live. I'm going to mix them up. Not looking. So the first person will be number 6. Mr. Edit, Darren, my alternate, will be in the first slot. His opponent in game number 1. Mixing them up, not looking. And he will play Gizmo. That will be game number 1. Darren, Mr. Edit versus Gizmo. Now, the second game. Mixing them up and choosing number 4 will be Dante from Talking Runs and Making Runs. His opponent in game number 2 will be Professor 19. Professor 19. Game number 3. Will be Chuck, Backyard Billiards. His opponent will either be Roopster, Chris, or Ron Johnson. And his opponent will be Roopster. And we know what the last matchup is. I'll go ahead and draw it just for the purpose. We have Chris will take on 5 Ron Johnson in game number 4. Each of the winners will move on to the semifinals, and then those winners will move on to the final until we have a champion. So just to recap, Mr. Edit, Darren, will play Gizmo in game 1. I will be contacting both of you through comments. Gizmo, I'm going to contact you through Roopster. And Mr. Edit, I have your information. We want to find out when it's good for both of you to play the first game. Second game will be Dante from Talking Runs and Making Runs. He will play Professor 19 Billiards. Chuck from Backyard Billiards will play Roopster. Chris will play Ron Johnson in game number 4. Now what I'm going to do next, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. See if we have any comments. Thanks for everyone for showing up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go over the rules rather quickly, just to give you an idea so when you are practicing. Again, 7, 8, 9 foot table, doesn't matter. We're going to rack with the 1 ball on the spot. You don't need a magic rack. So, I'm going to go through a couple scenarios for you. If I were to break and pocket the 9 ball, you can automatically take 7 points. Or you can take the 9 ball out, spot it, and have a choice. You can leave the cue ball where it lays and try to run out for 11 points, or you can take ball in hand and try to run out for 9 points. If you take ball in hand, the most you can earn is 9 points. If you do not take ball in hand, you can earn up to 11 points. Now, again, automatic 7 points if you do pocket the 9 on the break. Okay? Let's go ahead and rack up again. I'm going to run through this rather quickly, so if you do have some questions, put them in the comment. Okay, so if I break and I scratch, automatic, ball in hand, possibility of 9 points only. You cannot earn 11. Automatic, ball in hand, 9 points only. Okay? Next scenario. I break. Say I don't scratch. Ball sitting here. If I choose not to take ball in hand, I run out, I can earn 11 points. If I take ball in hand and I run out, 9 points. Now, I want to talk about a few other things. All balls stay down except the 9 ball. So for instance, if I were to make the 1 ball, and then I were to, see if I can scratch. Scratch, I pocketed the 2, I scratched, I would get 2 points for that rack. Okay? All balls stay down except for the 9 ball. The next thing I want to talk about is combinations, meaning the 9 ball. Combination on the 9. So I've pocketed the 1 already. I have a 2-9 combination. And I pocket the combination. I get the 1 ball that is down plus 2 on the 9 ball. So that would be a total of 3. So for instance, if I pocketed the 1, the 2, and let's say I pocketed the 8 on the break. 1, 2, 8, and I have a combination on the 3, 9, okay? 1, 2, 8, and then plus 2, okay? So the 9 ball is counting for 2 along with the pocketed balls. Sometimes it's a little confusing, but we'll figure it out. So if you have any further questions, make sure that you message me. I want you practicing and I want you to understand the rules. Okay? Again, ball in hand after the break. If you scratch, it's automatic ball in hand. If you choose not to take ball in hand, you can earn up to 11 points for that rack with a run. If you take ball in hand, you can earn up to 9 points maximum. Okay? All balls stay down on a scratch except for the 9 ball. So if you would run the rack, scratch on the 9 ball, you would earn 8 points. Okay? Let me check my... Okay. I want to thank everyone for stopping by. I'll have this posted. Everyone knows who they're playing. Again, just a rundown. Game number 1 will be Darren, Mr. Edit, against Gizmo. Game number 2 will be Dante from Talking Runs and Making Runs against Professor 19 Billiards. Chuck from Backyard Billiards will take on Roobster. And Chris will take on Ron Johnson. Should be exciting. We'll get this promoted when these games are happening, so pay attention to my community tab. I'll post some things. I hope you all tune in, and we're all pumped up about it. And again, thanks for stopping in. Have a good one.